Actually, the album's not bad at all.
Collin, as usual, being 6 years late to the party.
No, I was listening to it.
No!
You just
ahead of me.
He does not listen to anything unless he wants to hear it. Because I've been talking about it for years now. What's that?
I've only heard it once, and it was in his car.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like, that shit is going to have so many ads on Spotify, I'm not even going to bother.
Jacob still refuses to get Spotify Premium.
Yep, I do. It would be better to just buy a CD every month instead of paying for Spotify.
Instead of being able to listen to anything you want,
just work your way up, use Spotify free so that you have a mix of stuff.
For the, 20,000 albums that you want in your collection?
You just pick at it.
You just pick. That's taking 1 grain of rice out of the 5-pound bag on a weekly basis. Okay, you're gonna be dead before you get there.
You watch more YouTube than listen to Spotify anyway.
It's like 50-50.
You're using the wrong ratios.
I use Spotify constantly, so it is better for me to actually buy it.
And he uses it constantly, and he only had 2,000 extra hours on top of mine. So,
because no, I had more.
Yes, slightly.
Anyways, I still had more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the annual Spotify Wrapped Cringe Fest.
I think it's kind of.
I wasn't very happy.
Hold on. It's not that cringe. It's actually kind of cool to look back on and be like, yeah, that makes sense. Or some things you're like, oh, I didn't realize that I listened to that much of that.
Some of it's cool, but a lot of it just ends up turning into cringe because it's like...
Why? Explain the cringe.
So pretty much everyone gets labeled an adventurer if you listen to more than a handful of genres. Stuff like that.
I've only found 2 of those.
The things that they do on top of just the numbers is cringe, and the numbers cool part is cool, but also sometimes the numbers can get thrown off. When I used to listen to stuff consistently to go to bed, I would never get into my real music actually put on Spotify because it would just be, the sheer amount of white noise and sleeping songs I'd be listening to. So it just throws off the whole thing. And it's kind of broken in that sense.
It's not saying what's your favorite. It's telling you what you've listened to the most of.
I know that, but why? If it's something that I've used because whatever, I have a playlist that helps me sleep. No shit, that's gonna be my highest, but that's not what I want to see. I'm not saying that the system is flawed. I'm just saying sometimes it doesn't function the way that it would be cooler if it could do this thing.
You're just upset that it's not functioning the way you would want it to function. Because guess what?
Whoa!
Why are you freaking out about it? It's literally not you wanting it to be something that it's not.
I want something to be a little different, and that's not wanting what the thing that we have. Yes.
Then use something else, dumbass. No, what's pissing me off is that he thinks he's right about something.
It's my opinion. Of course I think I'm right.
No, it's just, the fact is you're upset. No, it just pisses me off. He thinks he's right about the subject that he's obviously wrong about because he's upset that it's not going the way he wants it to be. Big baby uwu. Of course, it's a numbers game. It's not a what's your favorite thing because you just be like, hey, here's my favorite song. You share your favorite songs anyways. It's not this is my favorite stuff. It's a, hey, you've listened to all these over the years. Good job. This is what you've done. That's the whole point of it.
I'm aware.
Big baby uwu?
Yes, he is big baby uwu.
Big baby uwu ni mommy?
You hurt my brain because you are... I get blamed for mental gymnastics. This guy is the fucking drag queen of mental gymnastics.
It's true.
And it hurts.
Yeah.
It's you make no sense.
And I will do it in 4
sometimes I'm like, wow, he does so much mental gymnastics. Why am I trusting him as a source for anything right now?
I will do the gymnastics in the 4-inch heels with a big wig on.
When we
fucking
argue
watch me
in the chat, and you just look at it and you're like, that's word salad for this.
Yes.
And you use 3 words.
Yes, I use.
That's what he does.
Yes, he blames. Yeah. He'll be like, Collin, that's a fucking word salad. And then 5 minutes later, he says shit. I'm like, you could have just said these 3 words. He's like, yeah. So I'm gay. I can say word salad. You can't. You're straight. I'm gay. And he plays the gay card on me.
Why buy a comic? You might get a surprise. Santa's coming soon, so you all better be nice.
Alright, I can find a meme in there somewhere.
You can use most of that.
Welcome back to the Cock Podcast.
Comic Bros Podcast.
Cockcast.
All three of us are here. We are excited to do this in less than an hour. Let's go. We got shit to do. Collin, Spencer, and me, Jacob, hello, are here to talk about Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood.
Nope.
Yes, we are. This is the cool part, is if I ever did drag, I wouldn't need to put on eyelash extensions. I just have eyelashes.
That's just a male thing. Every male has, like, ridiculously long eyelashes for some stupid reason.
So,
Moving on.
Stabby Man.
Talking about
So this
some
is a-
sharp eyelashes.
True.
Wolverine.
So this is a 4-issue anthology book thing. We used the Treasury Edition paperback, which was Jacob's, for $30. Yeah, each individual issue has, I think this one is 3 stories per issue? Is it 4?
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it was less than the Deadpool one. And they're all made by different creative teams. I will not list all 50 people. That is a lot of stuff.
Do we not have the book with us right now?
No.
I forget it.
I can't. I read it a while ago. Yeah, it's
mean,
a Black, White, and Blood book. It's kind of garbage.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Black, White, and Blood are mostly garbage. With
Where's
like
our
a couple
cover?
of issues. You have it.
No, I don't.
No, we don't.
Not physically, but you have it existing.
Wow.
It exists.
Wow.
Then why is it not here?
Because fuck you. That's why.
We can just do this next week then.
Do what next week?
Bring the
Wait,
book
what?
in and fresh up on it. So we're not trying to just go in circles because none of us remember anything.
No, I can't.
'Cause if we do-
I won't be here next week.
Okay, well, none of
You
us...
don't like the book anyway.
Yeah, so then...
I like one issue.
I like most
So we're going to go in circles for like 9 minutes and then be like, oh, book.
That's the point. That's what happens with these anyways.
Not when we're freshly knowledged and like actually have points to talk about. But I read this like 3 weeks ago and I thought Jacob was going to bring it so I could flip through it and then
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
things.
yeah.
I forgot to take notes.
I was lying in bed and went, oh shit, I gotta be there in 20 minutes.
It's true.
I was taking a shit and I was like, oh, I gotta be there soon. I don't know. I think even if we looked at it, I would still have the same.
Well, that's
things
just
to
you
say.
not knowing how to make conversation.
We should do
That's
a Rambles
not-
episode.
True, actually. Yeah, we'll do a Rambles episode.
Come!
I did like the first issue, like the first thing where it was like him fighting this like monster and they're like studying him and
And
shit.
he's got the old school robotic
I
suit.
always come for that.
I don't understand that suit.
Really?
It's fine. It looks cool, but it's always in a weird setting. I think part of the problem is I don't know the original story.
That
it's
is
based
true.
on.
You should read that. It's really
It's good.
Just the big headpiece with
Yeah,
the
I
love
butt
that
ass
shit.
naked one. Yeah, it's
I
good.
kind of
love
want to
that.
see that dumped in like a cyberpunk world.
Yeah.
Because it looks super
Yeah,
cyberpunk-y,
that's why I like it.
but I haven't seen it mixed with that. It's always him like what I.
It's always him
does.
streaking around in the woods with no pants on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
It
it's
does
because
make
that's
sense.
where they
Because it's
keep
just
the
always
facility.
a nod to it rather than like added into a story. But I love that they used a magnet to travel him around. I'm like, that makes so much sense. Why did I never think about that?
It's
It's
like-
just like on a magnet, like on a cross. He's like, don't.
It's like picking up your toys in the sandbox and then moving
Yeah.
them somewhere else.
So that's the only issue you like, Colin?
That's the only issue that actually like stood out to me because I was like, oh wow, it's an actual story about this moment in time.
Wow.
And then there's that other one with like the knockoff Joker, not Punchline, whatever he was. He was basically Joker mixed with not Jaws, Saw. He was kind of lame.
Arcade?
Yeah, Arcade, whatever
You-
his name is.
Or Dumb and Gay?
I'm dumb.
He
You
is
guys
dumb.
like that one?
I loved the Wolverine book way better than Deadpool.
Yeah, honestly.
I like the Deadpool one a lot more than Wolverine
Okay.
because the art was better.
Well,
mainly.
we'll talk about it.
Didn't he bitch about like 50% of the art? in
I
that
bitched
book?
about the anime one, and I bitched about Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood.
Yeah,
'Cause I
the one
talked
issue
about that.
you saw.
Yeah, because there was like only one that had good art. Oh, and also the wait,
Oh,
no, there
oh.
was one more in the Wolverine one. The one where he had Cosmic Punisher, Ghost Rider, Cosmic
Yep.
Ghost Rider.
Yep.
That was sick. The art was fantastic, even though it was kind of like muddy sometimes. I couldn't really tell what was going on, but that was cool. That one was cool. I like that one a lot. Those two are my favorite.
I think you're coming around.
No, it was mainly. Well, I have to. It was mainly those two. It was mainly those two that really stood out, and then Arcade was kind of like.
We'll
weird.
talk about this more in
Yeah.
depth next week
Well,
without
you guys-
Collin.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to say my 2 cents now.
But it is now a Rambles episode because we came unprepared.
It just means it's a happy hour segment, basically.
Yeah, it's just a long happy hour.
Dude, dogs have asses.
We're
my
not
God.
talking about this.
But they have the little.
We're not talking about this. Word.
When have you ever needed a prompt to talk about ass?
You furry fuck.
Speaking of ass, I was going to attempt to stay up last night.
You're too old
the
for that.
whole time. I'm a couple years older than you, and you do it weekly. So
Yeah,
shut up.
you're too old for that.
I failed horribly. I went to bed. But in my last ditch attempt to stay up, I downloaded Doom 3.
Of course.
And I was trying to play that
Oh my.
while being really tired.
Ugh. I'd probably punch a hole in like the computer screen. That game is frustratingly bad.
That's why you gotta play Modern Warfare 2.
It's surprising how they actually made it scary. There are some pretty good scares. And they're not just like cheap jump scares. It was like, whoa, that got me. The mouse sensitivity was up really high, and I
Oh,
jumped,
my
and
word.
it like spun me around. It was really funny.
You know what game I've been wanting to play? Because I kind of looked at it.
Farming Simulator 2023.
My
No.
joystick.
Yes. Dead Space. I've always wanted to play that, but I heard bad shit about the third one.
Well, it's
Yeah.
the third one. Play Dead Space.
Okay.
Dead Space is one of
Dead
the
Space
best
and Dead Space
horror-
2, I heard are like...
2 is a little bit more action heavy. It is still really good though. Dead Space 1 is like one of the best horror survival games of all time.
I mainly want to
question
play
mark?
it just because of like how people, from what people have talked about it, it's like one of my favorite types of genres where it's like this just normal dude who is thrown into these like Cthulhu type of monster
Horror.
problems,
Yeah.
and he's like just surviving out of it, but he's not going insane.
For being such a scared little bitch that he is, Spencer loves the first one.
It's like I sit
And-
there and I shit myself the whole time, but it's
actually
fucking
spooky,
awesome.
too.
And it holds up really well. It's
Yeah.
barely showing its age for being
And-
like 12 to 15 years old.
But
They're
also
they're remaking it. It launches January 23rd, I
Ooh.
think.
But we
Okay.
don't know how much they're changing yet, so I wouldn't recommend the remake
No,
yet.
just yeah.
So-
keep your ear to the ground. We'll let you know.
as far as I can tell, it also looks like one of those. Another thing that I really like about horror is that like it shows a little bit of the monster. The
It's
whole point of
good
being
with
like
shadows.
scared is that like you need to like it's the
Not-
unknown. The unknown scares you more than anything else in the world. It's not just like these latex looking monsters. You need to like be drenched in not drenched in shadow, but like you need to be still hidden. Like which one was it? Like Love, Death, and Robots, that show.
Mm-hmm.
There's some episodes that are like fantastic. Like the one that kind of reminds me
I'm
of
just gonna top you off.
what's
but
it
then
called?
you change the sweetness.
Oh, my word. There's one episode that reminds me of that video game
Now
Mass
you can,
Effect. Mass Effect.
Now you can top me off.
Mass Effect, where they're in this dude is on this ship or whatever, and he's trying to get out, but then eventually he finds out that he's stuck in this like mind palace, and this like spider lady is like, I take care of all the lost travelers, and he's like, I need to know what's truly out there, and she's like, no, you don't, and he's like, I need to, and she's like, okay, just remember I did this because I love you, and then he gets out, and he's like stuck on this weird fucking asteroid web, orange web looking thing, and then from the shadows, it looks like it's a female, like, walking out, like a female's body. And as it gets closer, it's just, like, these specific parts of... Oh, my gosh. It's these specific parts of the spider that make it look like it's a human body until it comes out of the shadows. It's this giant, just spider alien. It's just... It was so cool.
Which
like, stuff
season
like
was
that.
this in?
I can't remember which season.
Can't
I think
remember
it might have been the first one. But it was just so cool. Stuff like that I really like.
Spider Booba.
Yeah, Spider Booba.
Sexy Shelob.
I was thinking, what's her name? Guinevere? No, not Guinevere. The one from Demon Souls with her tits out.
Ah!
Yeah.
That was spooky.
Dark Souls.
I know.
Dark Souls.
I know. I just don't know what the character you're talking about. I know Demon Souls. Don't worry.
I said the wrong game. It wasn't Demon Souls. It was Dark Souls.
Which one?
The first
Dark
one.
Souls.
Oh, okay, Dark Souls.
With the spider with the tits out.
No, I didn't get that far in the game.
You will definitely like Dead Space though. It's really really good to just sit down with for a few hours at a time and just block out everything else. It's really good at making you think you know what the game mechanics are or like what the scare mechanics are. It doesn't have a lot of like, and here's the spot where the music cue hits. Like it's good at it's good at tricking you. And it's also really good at keeping stuff hidden, but also not shying away from like, and here's a corpse with a thing inside of it, and it's gonna go like all the time. It does both very well.
I like stuff like
Very
that.
spoopy.
It was
Mining weapons go
cutting
pew.
edge because they made the game where you have to cut off the limbs of the bad guys that are crawling towards you.
Instead of the noggin,
Yeah.
because it's always the noggin.
Cut their legs off.
Mm.
And then
Collin's into that. Collin's into getting his head cut off on accident.
it's freaky because you have like no ammo all the time, even on easy difficulty. So it's like you see corpses everywhere, and you're like, one of these fuckers is gonna jump. I just know
That's
it.
why you just sit there and you just keep smashing them to the ground, and you spend like 10 hours doing that because it takes a lot of like hits to break a corpse.
I like that. That's cool.
So you're just sitting there like,
So you're making your way through,
before you move through a room, just like completely and utterly smashing the shit.
and
out
then
of
one jumps anyway.
them. Yep, you're just like, I was just yes.
doing this.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I like that. That sounds very interesting.
Spooky. Do it. It's right there. It's right there. It's on my shelf, and it also costs like $3 anywhere.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get a hold of.
I have Dead Space 2. I do own Dead Space 2.
Dead Space 2 is pretty good.
Because I got it from Wesley.
It's just a little bit more
I don't,
shooty.
I don't think I've even finished the first Dead Space.
What?
Yeah,
Bruv,
I know.
get on my level.
I was planning to, and then they announced the remake, and I was like, wow, I might as well wait. I don't want to taint my experience of the remake with the old one.
I just have a hard time. I have a hard time with playing like solo games, I guess. I don't know what it is. It's nothing to do with the game itself. It's just how I am. I am much more of like I like watching movies, so I'll watch someone play the game without commentary, just to, like watch what's going on. But then I watch some of these guys play games. I'm like, this guy's so stupid. He sucks at this game.
You have brain worms.
Yes.
Except for like when it's like Elden Ring. Like I wanted to play that, or if it was like Fallen Order. Like I played the shit out of both of those games.
Yeah, Fallen Order is nice and short, so
Yeah, and that was why I could do it because it was very short.
I bet Dead Space is the same length.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as time.
Maybe a little shorter.
It's the only games I know.
Fallen Order was about, story-wise, was I think 12, and then like full completion was like 25. Dead Space is probably a little less.
So the only games I really played all the way through were probably
Minecraft.
Elden Ring, Fallen Order, and Batman Arkham Asylum.
You finished Elden Ring?
Yeah,
Dang.
I finished it twice.
Dang.
Yeah, I finished it like way back. Like I don't know, probably like 4 months ago.
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
I put 30 hours into it, and I wasn't even halfway.
He was putting in 30 hours a day.
Yeah, that's
Do
true.
you not
So
remember?
if I
He
go
wouldn't
back-
talk to us for like 2 months.
If I go back, I'm level 110, and I've put over 170 hours into it.
That was one of the things that bugged me about it so much. Is like I'm putting the work in, and I'm getting nowhere. Like I'm only halfway, maybe.
Are you like hitting all the like looting areas?
I was hitting everything.
I just don't think you had your stats correctly or something. I don't know. Because like I also looked up not videos on like, it wasn't always I looked up videos of where to go with stuff. I would look up videos on how do I just like stat myself properly, or how to like what weapons like just are better with stats, and I would just always look up stuff like that. So once you figure out what you got to figure out what you want to do, then you have to figure out how do I stat myself properly to do what I want to do, and then you just go forward from there. Because I figured out, oh, I want to have 2 curved swords and be a dex build. Even though I always made fun of dex builds because I was doing bonk build, and I realized I didn't enjoy bonk build as much. I like the curved swords, especially when you have blood on them.
Stealthy archer build.
It always happens like that when you play Skyrim. You're like,
well,
I want to play something else, and then you just turn into stealthy archer.
It's because
Not
it's the
true.
only thing that Skyrim works for, because the game's low-key kind of trash.
Yes, it is kind of trash.
It's fun, but it's kind of trash.
Yes,
it's
it is.
very busted, even for the time. Oblivion is much better.
I never played Oblivion.
Oblivion's pretty good. It's also obviously aged much worse, but like it's actually a
Wesley's going through all those Elder Scrolls.
I
games.
loved my very brief time with Morrowind because there were so many like stat sheets that you could have up on screen and like so orderly and nice and layered, and it was like pen and paper, let's go.
Oh my gosh. I want to play video games so I can whip out my parchment.
Yes.
Just go
There's,
play
like, the
Oregon
map,
Trail.
and then there's my stats,
and
and
this
there's
is
my inventory.
see, I understand the appeal and it looks really cool, but there's something about I love FPS. I love first person shooters. That's why I like playing Halo. Like especially, I'm gonna go back to Halo Infinite now. There's Forge. That shit looks so fun because I've seen tons of videos of people making different maps, different game modes. I always loved that shit. And then also Modern Warfare 2.
Give it
I just love gun games.
1 month, and he's gonna have built a bat cave, and we will be playing it.
Oh, that was the first thought in my mind. That was the first thought. It's gonna be Batcave and like mini Gotham City, like how I did in Halo Reach.
We need like at least one more friend so that we can play these Forge maps.
Yes, we do.
I was playing Doom 3 last night, and it felt like someone had spent 5 minutes playing Halo. Just like the pistol is big and chonky, the shotgun was big and chonky.
It's got some Haloisms to it.
Yeah,
like more than the usual, because
it-
you know every FPS has Haloisms.
had the cheap knockoff feel to it. I was like, oh, is that what they're trying to be? Maybe.
Is there a new Warhammer game?
No clue.
They shit those out every 2 months.
But it was like a first person shooter.
No clue.
Somewhat
From
newer, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so cause from what I'm aware of is that like the Warhammer games are usually like top down.
Yeah.
This was like a
no,
first. No,
They change. There's so many different genres of Warhammer video
Warhammer.
games.
Everyone who's into Warhammer is there for the lore. They barely care about the games.
yes, that's why. That's literally why I like.
Yeah.
I can't get into
came out-
Warhammer because of how much there is.
There's
I'm
a
having a
lot.
hard time, but like I love the aesthetic of like the giant. I get most of my lore from Josh because he already knows like all of it.
Wow, there's an even newer one.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
There was one that came out, I think, at the start of the year that I knew of.
this
but-
was like past
yeah.
couple months or something.
No, like this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen some TikToks about it. I'm like, oh, that kind of looks cool. But also, I love the big chunky guns that they have in like they're in this big chunky suit, and they're all fucked up, and they have like 3 lungs. And if you chopped off all their arms and their legs, that they go in like frozen stasis mode, and then they bring them back to life. That shit just seems so cool to me. It's so fucked up. Like the world is like the worst ever.
Yeah, worst timeline for sure.
Like out of anything, even Halo or like whatever, it's the worst timeline of Earth ever.
Oh, Warhammer
Or
is
humanity.
just different factions of Nazis, basically. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah, pretty much. I love
Like
it.
11 factions.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be talking about one of the Hellboy.
Oh yeah, prove it.
Yeah.
Do it right now. Let's go.
Oh, we're gonna go for it. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
I have been reading Hellboy: The Silver Lantern, which isn't really about Hellboy at all.
It's about the Silver Lantern.
Yeah, the Silver Lantern Club. It's a club.
Does Hellboy rub the Silver Lantern?
No.
Oh.
He goes to this
A
bar.
genie comes out.
He goes to this bar with his dad. When his dad's still alive. It's like 1950 something. Him and his dad, they go to a bar to meet his dad's uncle. And his uncle was a part of the Silver Lantern, which also had Sir Edward Grey, which is a main character in the Hellboy universe, which I haven't explored yet
Yep.
because I've only seen him in Hellboy in Hell and in like the third book where he's like kind of in the background. You don't even know who he is.
Yep.
And he was a part of the Silver Lantern Club, and it's literally just stories about them in the Silver Lantern Club. And every issue, it's like, oh, I'll tell you about this story if you get another round, because they're at a bar. And then Brutenholm's like, yep, another round. And like by the end of the book, they have like 10 rounds in them. And that's pretty much it. It's nothing too exciting.
By the end of the book, is this not a 4-issue run?
What I mean is I have the collected edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was 4 issues?
I believe so.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think it was 4 issues. Yeah, they're usually 4 issues.
You gotta speak up now. That you're
Yeah, they're usually 4 issues. I'm waiting for Hellboy in Love to have more issues coming out.
Yeah,
the first one
it's
was
just
fantastic.
the first one. Yeah.
I love the first one.
I flipped through it and I resisted the urge, but it does look very good.
The
I
art
also
is
just
very
think-
nice because it's by Matt Smith.
Yeah, he is like the head guy right now for Hellboy universe stuff.
Thank God.
The thing about his art that I really like is not necessarily because I don't remember his name. He was the guy that wrapped up the main Hellboy
the
run
third
with
one.
Mike, which I really liked.
I really liked him too.
But it was definitely like a very close to a 1-to-1 of Mike stuff, but with more detail. Versus Matt Smith is good at doing these like nice little one-off stories, which are a lot lighter in tone, and it's a lot of younger Hellboy stuff.
Yeah.
It's nice for. It maintains like the style of the universe, but it's not homogenous. He's not afraid to do like silly, goofy stuff
Yeah, he
and
just kinda does his own
have
thing.
less shadows and stuff. I also just think like we went over this when we talked about the book announcement, but like it's cool that they're adapting like an actual book that was written into the comic stuff, and like they're integrating the basically fan fiction.
Mhm.
And that's just really cool that like Mike is like, I like you. You want to write a book? Just
Yep.
do the book you already did. Like that's cool.
Just
I
do the
like
book
it.
you already
It's
did,
nice.
man. Yeah, I like Mike for that reason because he, Mike is just so
Not egotistical.
no, because he thinks so lowly of himself because he's like, yeah, I literally just like shit out a book and then I got paid for it. Like I made out like a bandit. He's talking like he talks like I literally scammed these people and now they pay me forever.
Yeah.
Because I draw rocks. It's just
He
so
does
funny.
draw rocks.
He does draw rocks good. He does it well.
What are you looking at? You looking at Sport Ball?
I was closing the apps that are open on my phone.
Why do you have apps open on your phone?
Well, since you decided to be on your phone, how about you tell us what you've been reading?
At least I brought 2 topics today. And just because of that, I'm saving the better one for later. Suck my nuts. I read Green Arrow, The Archer's Quest Deluxe Edition.
Okay.
Written by... Would you please let me do my review? It's written by Brad Meltzer and penciled by Phil Hester and inked by Andy Parks and colored by James Sinclair, lettered by Sean Kono. The original covers were done by Matt Wagner.
Colin's completely and utterly zoned out already.
Yeah, because he's on his phone!
Yeah. That's going away.
I hear Phil Hester art. I'm excited.
This has 6 issues in it. Put the porn away.
How'd you know? Because it's you, Colin.
No, it's not my fault. It's Instagram.
Oh,
They literally just show me porn all the time.
Put the phone down.
This has 6 issues. It's in the middle of...
Stop looking at Legos! Put it down!
I'm not. I'm listening.
No, you're not!
Yes, I am.
6
Right now.
issues. Part of the 2002 run, I believe. Green
Whoa.
Arrow died.
Whoa, shocker.
And he tells you that at the beginning of every issue. I was dead. It's like the
So you're
Richard
one-
Grayson.
no,
6-inch dick.
No. It's like the
12 years old.
really good run of Green Lantern where he opens every issue with "I'm Green Lantern," or "I'm Hal Jordan. I'm a freaking Green Lantern and I do cool shit. Read my issue." It's very annoying.
So you're probably wondering how I got into this situation.
Yeah.
Let me roll it back 3 weeks and we'll show you.
Basically.
I hate that shit.
there's a lot of behind the scenes reading at the forward and end of the book. And it's funny because the writer got the idea from a raunchy British comedy called Porn Buddies.
I know what that is, actually.
Of course you do.
So back in the day, before porn was online, because there was no internet, people are old. They had to have it in physical form. No, wait. They had to have it in printed form.
There you go.
And so a porn buddy is if you die, you, Collin, if you were to die, Spencer and I would be your porn buddies. We would go over to your house
Yep.
and burn your porn stash.
Yep.
So that your loved ones would not know what kind of terrible tentacle porn you would watch.
You know what's so funny?
He's into femboys.
I am so unashamed.
I knew that would trigger him.
I'm so unashamed about that shit that
Maybe you should be.
I probably wouldn't care if my family found it.
So
anyways, my dad would be like, "Yeah, I'm into this too."
This book is about Green Arrow's buddy that hid all of his like most precious belongings, like as a member of the Justice League. I don't know. Like it was a decent idea, but it was used kind of weird. So he goes on an adventure to find all of his stuffs, and it was
It's a fetch quest.
he chose a really weird villain instead of his loved ones that he could trust. Like it ends with him saying, "Yeah, I should have trusted Roy instead of this freaking C-list villain." I didn't even know who the villain was. I know, shocker, mad twist. I didn't see it coming at all. I don't know. It was kind of boring. It's also in the middle of a run, so that's my fault. But it's in this beautiful deluxe edition book, so I thought it would be a good standalone thing. Kind of like Killing Joke or whatever. Like, you can read it on its own. And I guess, but, it's fine.
The early 2000s did have some really cool printings like this. DC had a very... two aesthetic, like, you know, every time DC does an update to their logo, like, their kind of branding changes.
Yep.
Like, 2 updates ago was really cool. I don't know why. It's just something that I distinctly
Shadow
remember.
Dude, you didn't know?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like in
The Shade, I think.
Yeah. He's in like Young Justice and Justice League cartoons. You don't know about him?
No.
Damn. He's like in a lot of things.
Jacob reads books and he doesn't watch things.
The artwork was fine. It felt like early 2000s digital artwork, but it wasn't painful. So that's a good thing. I'm trying to compliment it. It was actually decent early 2000s digital artwork.
It is weird because I really like Phil Hester's art in general, but like I'm looking at that and I haven't read that, and I haven't read any of his stuff earlier than like maybe 2010.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird because I can see it's the way he does like geometry is what I really like.
Yeah.
But the textures on it is very weird.
I liked the cartoony feel to the characters, especially. It feels like I'm watching a Justice League cartoon. So that was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
So you do know what those things are?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I watched bits and pieces of Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
How much you buy where?
$6
Bruh.
at that new shop in freaking. Oh no, it was Chaotic Comics in Dover.
Nice.
Yes,
Hot.
Love them local shops.
local shops.
How much would you recommend buying this for?
$6 is fine. That's $1 an issue. That's not bad, and it's a deluxe edition of a hardcover book, so
Wow.
it's okay.
Nice.
Spencer,
Yeah.
What did you do, Dad?
what have you been jerking off to?
Your man.
I like that one.
Kill me. So I read The Joker Presents a Puzzlebox. It is written by Matthew Rosenberg with various art teams per issue and in the same issue based on the time period, setting, and which set of characters we're currently with.
Oh.
You read this like 9 months ago, right?
It was like 2 months ago, but yeah.
What? Longer than that. I think you read it when it came out.
When the trade came out, yes.
Yeah.
Not the trade, a hardcover. But basically, this takes place post Harley breakup. He's with Punchline now, blah, blah, blah. This is after Joker War, kind of. So he is just kind of chilling, and like sometimes Joker comes in and out of like existing. You know, he just I'm here. Here's a box. It's a whole thing.
One sentence. What is Joker War?
Joker took over the city and stole
Batman's money.
Stole all of Batman's money, and Batman is still basically poor.
I love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was actually a really cool plotline. I quite enjoyed those. Anyways, so Joker drops off it's a puzzle box. You guys know what puzzle boxes are, right?
I've seen Glass Onion.
Yeah, Jacob just watched Glass Onion. So basically, it's a box that includes various puzzles of different complexities. Sometimes it's a mechanical machine. This one is basically it's an actual MacGuffin. It's an interdimensional portal time-setting vortex device thing, and basically. There's a crime scene that happens at a place, and like most of Batman's rogues are there, and like Batman comes in, he breaks it up, and then they're all thrown in like one giant prison cell in like Gotham PD. So it's very cartoony. It's like, look, we have all of them in a cage, and then they're trying to sort out what the fuck happened because like there have been murders and stuff. It's a little vague in the beginning, and then most of the concurrent plot lines is Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Bullock interrogating Joker in an interrogation room, trying to sort out what the fuck is going on. Because if you can't trust anybody, you can trust the guy you can't trust to like not be trustworthy, you know? Because it's Joker, so he's always gonna lie to you and have a weird thing going on, but you can anticipate because he's fucking psychotic, you know? Basically that. Long story short, Riddler dies.
Nice.
That's like kind of the big kicker.
Goals.
Riddler is dead. It's very convoluted. And the fact that I'm having difficulty explaining it is kind of the issue. Don't make me lick you.
I should not be making monkey noises at him.
You do it to everybody, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. As long as I do it to everybody.
Okay. It was very interesting watching all of the different characters. Jeez.
Shut the fuck up.
It was really interesting watching all of the different characters go over different events from different perspectives. So we have, no, I gave him this thing. Well, no, this guy found it on the floor. Like, they're all gaslighting each other. And of course, it was all a Joker plan, because of course it's always a big Joker plan.
Big Joker plan or plan?
Plan. The actual plot isn't really the interesting part. It's a lot more about the fun character interactions for me. The timeline placement is the thing that's kind of annoying, just trying to land where it is, because like Punchline is a fairly new character, so trying to place where this is post her introduction, but not before Joker goes to Europe. It's one of those things where it's like, it's just kind of here.
Mm-hmm.
This will probably never be referenced again, despite having a fairly warm reception. I really enjoyed the majority of the art styles, and I like the fact that that this was like planned from the outset to be a weird compilation book of a bajillion different issues with a shit ton of people involved. It doesn't always work. There are some art styles I'm just not into. They don't work for the characters they're chosen for, but when it does work, it is really cool to have. We're talking to Harley. So what does it look like when Harley's describing events? Like having that sort of a visual difference is really cool.
What do you think of this Punchline character?
I like Punchline. She needs some more work, but she's consistently, from like her introduction, I've always liked her. I like that it's an abusive relationship, but it's not romantic. It's just, she's a fucking, so, the difference between a goon and a henchman. Daredevil, say the line.
Your Honor, my client is simply built different.
Oh my gosh. Punchline is there for the cause, she's not there because she wants to fuck Joker. So it creates a very
We're here because we want to fuck Punchline.
Yes. It's a very different dynamic than him and Harley, and I like how much they differentiate that. It's not just, let's say like White Knight has the two different Harleys. It's not like that. It's very different.
Mommy Harley. Well, it's true. She had kids.
She is literally Mommy Harley. Not even in a sexual way, but it can be.
And then you got Mommy Harley.
Yeah. It's not like that. It's not like a personality difference. They're there for entirely different reasons, despite having some
difference, bitch.
And her design's really cool. She's fun. She's fucking insane.
Yeah,
She's
that's
arguably
really cool.
actually more crazy than Joker is. Because she's like, I saw this dude doing crazy shit, and I want to be him.
Nice.
She's arguably
She is, like,
way cooler and funnier.
She is like the Sigma male meme of like, I want to be Patrick Bateman. Like, it's like that. It's like,
oh my
you
gosh,
see,
yeah,
it's like
she
that.
is.
She's like, I see the crazy guy that you're not supposed to root for. I want to be him. It's like
I
that.
literally want to be him.
So she's pretty cool. The book was long. It's only 7 issues, but each issue is very long because it goes through multiple characters' POVs and big page count. It's over there. You don't have to pick it up, but like,
Stick and twist it.
it's the one next to it, the white one.
This one?
Yes.
Oh, it does say Joker.
Yes.
Boobs.
That is a chunky boy.
It's 7 issues, but each issue is thick, and it's a very densely packed edition.
That looks like a 10 or 12 issue
Right.
trade.
Yes. So I think each issue had a 50 to 60 page count instead of the usual like 40.
That's hot.
It's cool. It just definitely feels a little overly long by the time we get to the end. So the finale ends up feeling disappointing because your expectations have been kind of boosted up so high, and then you're like, of course it's a Joker plot. Duh. You know?
It says it in the title.
Well, yes and no. It's a whole thing. Anyways, I
You're a
like...
whole thing.
Your whole thing.
The thing that I liked the most about it was the character voices. All of the writer, Matthew Rosenberg, I'm getting on board with a lot of the way he writes characters. I don't know why. I haven't read a lot of his stuff, but the stuff I have read is really interesting. He understands the pathology of a lot of the characters, and he's good at differentiating it without overly relying on the stereotypical versions of the characters. You know, not everything needs to be a Harley bimbo joke, you know?
Did I just see Powers in there? Like, from
Derek
Batman
Powers?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in this?
Yeah, Derek Powers is a regular character.
Is he a
sort
regular?
of. Not Derek Powers himself, but like the villain character is, yeah.
Wait, so I know Batman Beyond is a part of like the actual universe now, but is Derek
No.
Powers?
No.
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 I just saw him in his green.
In Beyond the White Knight, they merged characters together.
What do you mean they merged characters together in Beyond the White Knight? I'm not talking about Beyond the White Knight. I'm talking about this.
Derek Powers is not whatever the fuck this stupid villain name is.
The
They're not
green
the
guy.
same. That's a recent thing.
No, it's not. That's a Batman Beyond thing.
That's where it got popular. They're 2 different characters, and then in Batman Beyond, they went, we make them.
Oh, I
smoosh.
thought that's where it originated.
That character's been around for ages. It's just not an interesting one. He just looks cool. Hence why they said, let's shove him onto another character.
So the green guy was interesting? Or it wasn't?
No. He looks cool. Not a very interesting character. So
Okay.
they said, let's latch him onto a different character,
Okay.
and we'll make him a different guy.
You gotta be less pissy when I ask questions.
There's a lot of really good covers, not just because it's a big book, so they have a lot of covers in the back, but all of the alternate covers are included, and they're really, really pretty. Just a very wide variety of artists. It was fun to read.
Thighs.
It was fun to read over.
Wow. Can I see that real quick?
No! Let him finish the review, and then you can look at thighs.
Okay.
It was fun to read in one sitting. It did feel overly long, but I think if you break it up into either reading it issue by issue or in chunks, I think you might think about the kind of convoluted, broken plot a little bit too much. The book sells itself on being a puzzle box, but it's not really about the puzzle box. It's just about watching a bunch of villains scream at each other. So if you sit and stew in it like that, I don't think it's going to work as effectively. But if you just read it in one sitting, it's a satisfying enough read. It's just a bit much. I bought it for $40 for cover price. It's a hardcover. I'm expecting the trade to be $30, I think would be reasonable. I would say get it on sale. So like $25 to $30 would be reasonable. It's got a lot of good stuff. It's just the sections where I think the art kind of drags or the plot's dragging, I kind of not skim, but like speed read a little bit. Like I want to get back to the more interesting parts. But following the concurrent plot line in the actual interrogation room is an easy milestone. Not milestone, is it? But like a lighthouse. It's like a thing you know you're going to get back to, and then that stuff is really interesting. It's just sometimes listening to the characters, the villains are like, can Mad Hatter please shut the fuck up? This is getting annoying type stuff.
We need to hold thighs ransom for Collin, because he just sat like without saying anything. Like super still. I've never seen him do that before.
Wow, dude, that's great art. Who's the artist? Sean Crystal. Damn. Never seen never seen Harley Quinn so hot. Damn. Damn. Okay. Sean Crystal. Okay, I'm looking that up later. I was gonna go to this big bank.
Matthew Rosenberg is now on the ongoing Joker title, and I do think that is an interesting pick for him. He's following up on the James Tynion the Fourth run, which I've been talking about, and I think he's definitely a good pick for that. I just think the plotting of the book wasn't planned out that well for, like, page count per character balancing, you know? Little iffy. Collin!
We need to ask him a question.
We have a question!
So why were you confused earlier when Spencer said a Joker plan and you thought it was a Joker plane? Has there been a Joker plane before?
There's always a Joker
Yeah, there's
plane.
always a Joker plane.
There's a Joker plane. There's a Joker dragon, man.
I mean, besides the one in Long Halloween. That doesn't count.
Joker plane.
No, there's always a Joker plane. There was one in the crossover between Batman the Animated Series and Superman, where he turned Lex Luthor's plane into a giant smile. That was a Joker plane. Definitely some in Batman Brave and the Bold. It's been quite a few. But I hope that's not your question.
That wasn't the question. I was just confused.
Yeah.
He's just asking you why you're fucking retarded.
Because of you, Father.
It's true. I did pass on the retard genes.
That was another thing this week. Josh told me to tell you that you need to go to bed and sleep more because you come into work too tired to do anything and you're useless. And
I love how he says that because he's such a piece of shit. He knows I'm not fucking useless.
no, I know.
Fucking useless. He's so offended.
That's why I turned it back around on him, and I was like, well, Collin blames you for playing Modern Warfare with him all night.
And what'd he say?
But I also, like, implied that you're on substances, and Josh was like, no, that's not like Collin. He wouldn't be on anything. I'm like, no, I think he's just retarded. And he forgets to go to sleep.
It's so fucked up that that's so fucking true. I am actually that retarded where I forget that I have to sleep. I forget to sleep. I forget to eat. I forget to sleep.
I forget to eat sometimes. I feel that.
I forget to eat all the time. All the time.
Who let you, like,
Be like
graduate to being an adult? Like, how the fuck are you?
Am I surviving? I don't fucking know. I don't know.
No,
Your
it's because of some,
Yes, actually, it's insane. It's pure luck.
It's because some random fuckers like me come along and then they're like, "Here, Collin, eat food." That's why. It's
Oh
because
yeah, I
people
do need
take care of you.
I've done that a couple times. Yeah.
A couple thousand at this point.
Yeah.
Some people are like, "No, Collin, like, go to bed. Fuck off."
Or yeah, because even I was at work and I was like, oh shit, I need to eat something. So I found some bread and I slapped some peanut butter on it. And Andre's like, do you want like a fucking apple or something? I'm like, yeah, I'll take an apple. And I went and I threw it away. Me. He's like, she's not eating. I'm like, no, I forgot today. I don't know how I'm turning 22 next week. That's pretty fucked up.
Yes.
What are you doing for your birthday? Are we joining you for your celebration or no? Or
So Saturday I'm gonna go see Abby's Nutcracker. I didn't realize how bad this was gonna come out.
Would you like to reword that?
Yeah.
Are we gonna cut this?
I'm going
he's
to
into
go
it.
see his ballet performance
Nice.
for the Nutcracker for Safe Haven. Saturday night. So Saturday morning I'm probably just gonna fuck off. I'm gonna do nothing. And I'm working Friday on my birthday.
Yup.
I just play video games or something.
Wow.
Or I was also thinking maybe I should also do a movie marathon and just do like Man of Steel to Justice League. Something like that. Or I was thinking maybe all 3 John Wicks. Something like that.
Cool.
I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
Sunday. Maybe
Okay.
Sunday people can come over and we'll just
I come.
yeah.
Oh,
come.
Of
he'll
course.
definitely come if you do
I
the
knew.
Man of Steel.
I knew. Once I said once I thought about Man of Steel through Justice League, I'm like,
He was fully
I was like, oh yeah,
erect.
Spencer.
Yep.
No, that's one thing that Spencer and I have in common. We like Fucking.
The only thing we have in common, clearly.
No, I said that's one thing we have in common. Another thing that we have. Okay, rephrasing because Spencer's a little bitch boy. Oh my word. Another thing we have in common, greatly in common, that we both love those 3 movies too much. Yeah, we suck those movies off.
Yeah, you do.
Or I was even thinking of watching those Zack Snyder movies that Spencer gave me for Christmas, like
Wow.
Sucker Punch. My dad wants to watch that.
Sucker
too.
Punch is great.
Yeah, we wanted to watch those.
Your dad's gonna be so excited to see them all wearing skimpy dresses.
You know what's funny? He actually looked at the movie. He's like, "Yeah, that looks cool." I'm like, "Yeah, they're skimpy dresses with guns and swords." And he's like, "Yep, yep."
Well, on that note,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of fully erect penises,
Pee hard!
I read The Wake, written by Scott Snyder and arted by a Sean Murphy. It is a Vertigo book.
This is one of their first books.
Oh, did he only talk about one book so far?
Yes.
Yes, we both have. We all have.
Oh yeah, we went dum dum dum.
We just
Yeah.
filled the void by yelling at you. Because that's the. It went like this, and then we just filled the void.
This book collects
Right.
years 1 and 2, 5 issues per. So there's 10 issues in this Ginyu book.
How is the book?
He's thinking of how to phrase the plot.
Yes. No. You are not allowed because there are many, many spoilers in this.
This is something that's on the list of things I want to do for a proper review of.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Spooky underwater book.
Boobies?
There is boobies.
I want to see.
No!
Ah!
Colin, we'll talk about it in a couple of months. Calm down. You'll forget about it the moment you walk out the door anyways.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, I will.
Spooky underwater story. Kind of bogged down by what if we take this thing that we've already done and make it bigger.
Harder.
No, just bigger.
Okay.
Just bigger. So
I'm interested.
it gets a little
course you
dumb,
are.
but it looks so hot. I didn't even care if the story got a little dumb.
You didn't even care if it got sexed up.
The story kind of got lost in the sauce too. It does a huge time jump, and it's like, all right, where is this going? What are we doing?
I think there might have been a publishing delay in the middle of it.
It kind
I
of feels like it.
think I looked into this and then I went, I'm gonna put that on the list of indie shit that we should do, and
Yeah.
then didn't look into it because I wanted to save myself.
Something definitely happened. I don't know what. I didn't do the research, but it definitely feels like there was some tomfoolery behind the scenes that messed with the story.
Tomfoolery.
I was trying to not say fuckery.
Tom fuckery.
Leave Tom alone.
Tom and Jerry.
Stop fucking
I'd
the
sm-
cat.
I'd smash.
Smash. Smash. Ooh. That's making me think about everything in my life. Smash.
Let's see, what else?
After your review, I have a question for all 3 of us to answer. Before we end it. I need it.
Possibly my favorite thing from this was how many, very, very many vehicles there are.
He loves drawing
He
vehicles.
loves drawing vehicles, and he draws many, many different types of vehicles.
Yes.
Like this double splash especially.
Yeah.
So many planes.
I think it's so
And
funny.
boat. There's plane
Yeah.
and boat.
Plane and boat.
I like motorboat.
Boat.
I find it funny that 2 of my favorite artists, one loves drawing vehicles and one absolutely hates it.
The duality of man. The two
duality of man.
genders.
Literally.
I draw a rock, I draw a boat.
I draw a rock, I draw a car.
I enjoyed this. I burned through it in like 2 sittings. Like I did the first half and then the second half.
Wow.
Yeah. I kind of wish there was more, because there's a lot more to explore in this. But it's probably going to be left by the wayside. So
It might be. I've been hearing, not specifically rumors about this, but Scott Snyder has been talking a lot about potentially returning to some of his creator-owned stuff. since we talked about it, I remember he specifically said that they are looking at returning to Witches as well. Because like
I was just thinking about
that one's
that.
been rumored for quite a while. To be fair, it's just a matter of because Scott Snyder kind of backed away from the big two, and he's been doing a lot of.
Witches.
Witches?
No.
It is witches.
That's not how he says it.
Well, he's wrong.
It seems like a lot of the
That's how your mom says it.
a lot of the big guys that we're thinking of that have a lot of these types of creator-owned comics they did like 10 years ago, a lot of them seem to be interested in returning to them a little bit, so there might be something to that. I don't know any more specifics than that.
Much good.
How much you buy? Where?
Great question.
Oh, $10 at Bombos.
Wow.
That's a steal.
And it's a hardcover.
Hot
Damn.
It's a great cover. I love that cover.
I have a question.
What do you want, you fucking whore?
Do you have a comic that is constantly on your mind or in
Yes.
the back of your mind? And if you do, what is it? And why is it on the back of your mind?
So when you say the back of your mind, do you mean like it's
Like it's just reoccurring, like
It's
it's
just
just,
some- yeah.
it's like connected to all your like favorite things, kind of like in one. So like I'll go first. Just to give a good example. Something that is always in the back of my mind, and I think about, is actually Punk Rock Jesus.
that's a good one for that.
Because, not because of the story, but it's mainly about the art. And the art of it, like the black and white. Hold on.
Issues 1 through 5 covers that
Oh,
combine
that's cool.
into one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Come.
I love that shit. So, mine is Punk Rock Jesus because I love... At first, I really wasn't caring for the black and white, but then it grew on me really fast, and I just loved seeing the backstory of I can't remember one of our main characters, the big rugged dude that basically looks like Punisher Batman.
The Irish Catholic man.
Yeah, the Irish mafia Catholic man. I loved his backstories, even though they're so simple and like kind of basic. I love the guns, and I love the motorcycle especially, and I loved seeing the like garage he has and just how like everything's drawn. Just the art of that always is in the back of my mind, and like kind of something I want to do myself. But it's difficult for me to like be that specific with shapes like like Sean is with stuff, because he like breaks out the rulers and like measurements like all the time, and it
The
like,
exact surface area of
pretty
her
much
booty.
that's what it feels like, and then I'm just shape. So
I don't really feel like I have a comic always on my mind. If anything, I have what I'm reading on my mind as I'm reading it, like trying to remember the story and, oh yeah, that's where I left off. But I guess if anything, it's probably Arkham Asylum.
that's
Just
a good one.
because,
Serious House on Serious Earth.
yeah.
Yeah, he stole mine.
That's why
I
I
knew
went
that was gonna
first.
be yours.
That's why I went.
I knew that was gonna be his.
Just because it's so...
I'm gonna tap you in the nuts.
It's so layered. There were so many themes and inspirations and iconography, and it's so dense that it gets a little too much for itself.
I need to revisit that.
Like, it's so helpful to read the script in the back of the book, because it's like, holy crap, there's so much more here than what I caught.
When you know that the original artist was supposed to be was it Brian Boland?
I don't know.
I think it was Brian Boland. The original artist for that same script had a clear, like very visually distinct art style, and then halfway through like the book getting done, it's like, oh shit, we got to work with Dave McKean, and like just the complete art style shift. When you keep that in mind, it makes a lot more sense, like how the visuals play out. It's very fucking weird. I agree with Jacob. I wouldn't say less because of like the different layers of like complementary and contradictory iconography. It's more so just because there's a few panels. There's just some imagery that really sticks out of my brain. Like there's the panel where you see Batman. His eyes are kind of blacked out, and you see his mouth, and he's holding the coin. That one sticks out, and like one of the really big Joker panels, just the way
His eyes are sunken.
in particular, the way that Dave McKean does Joker, I fucking love. I like the two opposite ends of the Joker spectrum. The one in the middle is boring to me. I like the weird skinny demon creature thing with, you know, like the weird Tic Tac cigarette piano key teeth and like this weird when I can never tell if the smile is like bloody or smeared lipstick or whatever. That's when I can't tell what the fuck is going on.
And then what's the other side?
And then I do like the big chonky in suit, you know.
Yes.
You know, I like both. I like the two ends of that. I like
we have
big,
same brain.
Big chunky suit, as in like gangsta jokes.
Dark Knight
yeah,
Returns.
yeah. Dark Knight Returns comes to mind. Honestly, the second Joker in Gotham also had a bit of that aesthetic. The more cold, you know, like
cold, calculated.
I am going to blow up the city now. You will watch it in terror. And like he just says that. Like I like both of them for different reasons. But yeah, no, Serious House and Serious Earth was also one of the first like actually dark comics I read, and I was like, holy fuck, I am now traumatized.
Yeah.
I want to make my mom read this. I was like 14.
Oh my gosh. I think I definitely agree with you on the Joker thing, and I would actually put our Matt Reeves Joker closer to the spectrum of like the Arkham Asylum one.
Yes.
That's probably why I like him so much, because he's just so grotesque and like messy.
Yeah.
Where that's probably why I don't really like any of the other Jokers that much. Like I understand and I appreciate the other Jokers for like what they've input. Like same with even Jared Leto, like for like the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
But like those two opposite sides of the spectrum are just my favorite.
I also think of that comic a lot, just as lore for characters as I'm experiencing other Batman stuff. Like I listened to an episode of the Audio Adventures on HBO last night.
And how do you like those?
Hang on. It had Two-Face in the episode, and he was flicking his coin like all the time, and it reminded me of Serious House on Serious Earth, where his therapists like upped him to a dice, and then like
tarot cards,
and then the freaking
the full deck of cards
Chinese thing where it's like infinite numbers and it breaks his brain. So
yeah, those are always
things like that clearly aren't solid a canon, but just very interesting ideas and concepts.
So I actually agree with you on that, or I not agree.
Especially because the episode I listened to, Batman swaps out Two-Face's coin for a weighted coin, so he's got a 77 or 73% chance of getting the good side instead of 50-50.
It's just, when it comes to that, I like that because it also explores other characters that don't get a lot of spotlight, like Maxie Zeus and Clayface. I don't know, it just, the fact that the book doesn't just rely on the iconography of the big characters, and it dives into some of the other ones without forgetting that the important ones are there. Like, we are all constantly complaining about, like, over-jokering everything. But also, you can't just forget that Joker exists either, I think, in my opinion. If you want a proper view of how the mythos works on the whole, you can't forget about him. It's just a matter of knowing where to place him, and the book has that. He's just a weird, like, demon apparition. He facilitates the thing, but he's not really the focus of the book either.
I really like that.
It's there, and he's very present in it. It's just not really about him. It's about what he can tell you about other people. And that was the thing with Two-Face in particular. It's one of my favorite Two-Face stories because that's the thing is the book semi-ambiguously ends with him knocking over the tower of cards that he had made. You know, it's like the thing he's doing at the end, and it's like it's a pretty move. The way that I originally interpreted it was like he's finally rejecting that way of thinking, and he's just like, I can make my own decisions now, and it's actually kind of fucking moving because Two-Face never gets there. Like, he's a character constantly in flux. I swear to God, he gets his face fixed and then he rescars himself every fucking time, and it actually allows for like some sense of finality. It's really cool for that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, moving on from that.
Are we ending it?
I'm having a hard time with the Audio Adventures because it feels like they created 300 3-minute blurbs and stapled them all together. And I'm not finding much cohesion. It's like here's a 30-second segment, here's a 2-minute segment, all in like 45-minute chunks, and it's not.
I get what you're going. I agree with you because I like this. They basically feel like skits almost.
Yeah.
I like the voices they have, and I like the stuff that they're doing. But yeah, it's really hard to listen to from
super choppy
continuously.
Yeah, I've got to do like one a night, and that's it.
Huh.
Otherwise, it all blurs together.
So I guess my thing was when I was listening to it, I was also working on my Lego Batcave. So like it helped a lot, like keeping me like wanting to do that, like build that Lego Batcave.
I was thinking about that last night. It feels like a legit radio show that you can have on in the background and not miss anything, but you can like tune in with your ears, tune in and like catch a quick story, be like, oh, that's cool, and then go back to whatever you're doing.
That's why I like it.
So it's just weird.
It's kind of an inevitable downfall of its design because that's the vibe it's going for.
Right.
Yeah.
I went
and it's tough because you can't have it on your phone with your phone turned off because it's technically a video on HBO.
That is annoying.
And then they stopped putting them on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are we supposed to do with this?
No clue. I know what it is. You're supposed to. You're supposed to huddle around the TV like it's the radio, and just lay there, with your legs kicking up in the air, staring at the blank image. That's what you're supposed to do.
It's not a blank image though.
The singular non-moving image.
You do that to him all the time.
It's true.
Do what?
Sugma.
Interrupt him?
What were you trying to say?
No, I'm done.
Okay. This episode.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, we are.
You've got your review.
I have we didn't even talk about the fucking holiday special. Jesus Christ.
Well,
I didn't know that we were going to talk about that.
I only got halfway through and I fell asleep.
Oh my god.
I really liked the beginning of it. The song was awesome. Like I want to actually listen to this on the car ride, but I didn't finish it.
You guys are fucking queer.
You stay up for many hours straight.
Not.
And then try to watch that.
You try dealing with my ADHD.
I do on this side
week.
of it. So I read a book like what Jacob read. One of them big creators that everybody kind of likes now, but they did a thing a while ago, and it's good, but no one talks about it. I did one of those.
Donny Cates.
Yes.
Nailed it.
So
wait, is this your third review?
No, it's my
this
second.
Is his second.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
Did I go first?
Yes.
Yes.
Shit. Huh.
I read Buzzkill. It is something that we're going to be talking about in a little bit, so I'm not going to get into too many spoilers. Just going to breeze through it. Basically, this is a 5-issue series. It's just a single book about a superhero who gets his powers from doing drugs and alcohol. It's
relatable.
And the different drugs and different types of alcohol give him different types of powers.
With the mixes?
Sure.
Combo moves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Combo moves.
It's very much so not really about the superhero bit, and that's what I liked about it the most. It was a really quick read. I think I got this down in like 20 minutes. I'm gonna go read it again just to see how much I missed. But it's also really painful to read because it does have a very definitely personally informed view on addiction. It's a really cool concept, but it's explored in a very Donny Cates type of way. It's got that really
bluntness.
It's really blunt and it's very funny, but it's also not really skirting around it. It's one of the reasons why I really liked God Country and just all of his other stuff. He's not afraid to just go, yeah, you're fucking retarded.
Mm-hmm.
But also I get it, It's not about tearing people down, but it's also not about like having baby hands. And he definitely clearly has some personal business on this one.
Big baby ooh.
Each issue opens up with a relevant quote. I think it's issue 2 opens up with, a man takes a drink, and then the drink takes a drink, and then the drink takes the man. It's an F. Scott Fitzgerald quote, which is used in The Shining.
Wow.
Great quote. The book itself, physically, it has a fake, like, booze ring on the back of it. It's really cool, actually. Like, it's hidden away, but, like, the back, it looks like someone, like, put down a liquor bottle on top of it that was, like, dripping. It's really cool. And it's just about him going through the steps. Not like he's mocking going to AA because he doesn't want to do it because he doesn't have a problem. It's the whole It
Obviously doesn't.
it's yeah, exactly.
Said
It's
so.
Can stop anytime.
yes,
Yeah.
because he gets power, so like it's cool and stuff. But he's fucked up a lot of stuff, and that's basically it without going into spoilers. Kate's has a really cool way of doing homages to other characters we would know, but without overdoing it. Like his sponsor for AA is a Doctor Strange riff named Dr. Black, but the way like the font in the book it's a very comic booky joke. And it's like, no, you didn't pronounce it right because you just said it in like normal text. You have to say it in like the weird British medieval text, Blah. Yeah, it's like that. It's really fucking weird.
The way you said homages, Collin looked at you like you were about to say homogus.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like homosexual, like
Homogus.
He does a lot of homages, and they're really obvious, but it doesn't linger in it. It's just meant to be a little wink and a nod, and then moving on. It's not the focus of the book. It's not about riffing on superheroes. He's not fucking Garth Ennis, The dialogue was really good. I appreciate how distinct the characters felt, despite having like no time with any of them. I wish it was a bit longer, honestly. By the time I got to the end of it, it felt a little short. The pencils by Jeff Shaw are very Sean Gordon Murphy-esque. They have a lot of similar geometric shapes, very pointy people type stuff. I really like this. I'm really looking forward to us going over it. It was a little painful for me to read. I am fine.
May not.
Shut up.
I'll be your sponsor.
No, you won't. On the whole, this is a really good singular piece. I wanted a little more, but I don't want a sequel. I don't want a continuation. I like how it ends. It feels like a well-explored concept.
How much you pay?
I paid $13. It's either Image or Boom.
I want to say Boom.
It's Image. Image, paperback. Definitely worth it. I would pay more if there's at some point
Deluxe edition hardcover.
See, I don't
Script in the back.
I don't like deluxe edition hardcovers because they're always horrible. Like the dimensions are all fucked up and I hate them. But I would consider it. And if there's a new printing at any point, I would definitely consider getting it. It's a nice book.
You really are the cat with the fingers to the bridge of his nose saying, I'll consider it.
Yes. I like this a lot. I would pay up to like $20 for this. Faux shizzle.
Wow.
I'm definitely looking forward to going over it. I think Colin's going to have a lot of interesting takes on the art. And then Jacob and I are just going to be sitting over here talking about alcoholism.
Have I talked about this movie before?
Probably.
No Country for Old Men.
Yes.
I did talk
I think
about it.
so.
Okay. Because I'm having that's the reason why I say one thing. I'll have like one thing to talk about because I know I recently read that, but I've watched and read a lot of things that I haven't talked about and I cannot remember what's what.
Wow.
Nice.
We are friends with Jetpack Comics and Games in downtown Rochester, New Hampshire. They have comics and games. They have really helpful staff. They are cool. We get lots of comics from them. Please check them out. We have support. We are supported.
We have strung underwire and padded support.
From our patrons, Caitlin and Jeff Lawrence. They went over to patreon.com/dimecomicbros and signed up under one of the 3 tiers that we have. Each tier has more and more cool perks for your money, so please check that out.
There are stickers. You can get your name said, but you can make it a funny name. You don't have to use your real name. You can
say Homogus.
You can say Homogus.
We would have to say we are sponsored by Homogus.
Or it could also be Hugh Anus.
It could
Hugh Janus. Hugh Janus.
Sugma. You can do all sorts of crazy things with that. You also get lots and lots of stickers, early access to this podcast, as well as Dime Gaming Bros. You get exclusive access to Happy Hour, which is an additional segment we do on top of all of our podcasts of like 20, 30 minutes of random rambling, talking about all sorts of weird random bullshit, having a drink or a cup of coffee and just chatting it up. And there's other stuff and things.
Just chatting.
Chatting. This is why people associate us all the time.
Go to patreon.com/dimecomicbros. Give me money! I like
needs it
money.
to support his alcoholism.
I don't have a problem. I'm fine.
Obviously not, since you related to that whole fucking alcoholism and drug abuse book.
on drugs.
Babies on drugs?
It's his copium addiction.
That is true.
Next week, Spencer and I will be talking about Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood because we kicked it down the road a little bit.
And the news. We're gonna do a double whammy. Fuck it. We're gonna get all caught up. And the holiday special.
Are we do a power bomb?
No, that's the week after that.
Oh, that's
we'll
the week
wait
after
until
that.
Collin.
Yeah, you have to wait.
It's
for
the
that.
finale.
It's the finale.
Yeah.
And I'll read it. Yeah, it's
A
got
nice
God.
Christmas finale.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be a nice little present from Daddy Warren Johnson.
Daddy Warren Johnson.
So make sure you tune in for that. Collin won't be here, so it'll be a good episode next
Yeah,
week.
because it's my birthday.
Birthday!
Birthday party.
Tune in next week. Gotta go bye.
I have to go so bad.
I just ripped ass, and I can't believe Spencer didn't yell at me because it was
He doesn't care if
stanky.
you rip ass.
It
Well,
was
no.
stanky.
I care when Collin
bitch.
rips ass. I don't want to smell Collin's
That's
colon.
bad.